Right now at 6, the search for a motive after a former cop allegedly kills 2 people, then tries to escape with his 1-year-old son.
Oh, they have the baby!
Plus, an update on the suspect accused of sexually assaulting an unconscious woman at a MAC station. And a proposal to tear down a Lake Oswego elementary school meets opposition.
We're really doing our kids a disservice by making these decisions that are not beneficial for the neighborhoods.
Why the district says the plan is being floated in the first place. We begin at 6 with the latest on a former police officer suspected of killing his ex-wife and a teenage girl. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. Following a multi-state manhunt, that suspect, authorities say, took his life near Eugene with his 1-year-old son inside the car. Joe Ranieri's live in the newsroom with the update here. Joe?
Well, David, the 1-year-old boy's mom was one of the victims, like you said. While that little boy is going to be just fine, the state of Washington is trying to determine who will take care of him now.
For nearly 24 hours, from Monday afternoon until Tuesday afternoon, 39-year-old Elias Huizar was on the run from police.
Oregon State Police attempted to initiate a stop, and the vehicle fled, resulting in a high-speed pursuit during which the suspect exchanged gunfire with law enforcement.
It ended in dramatic fashion near Eugene after Huizar crashed his car into the center median of I-5 before shooting himself. The good news is, his 1-year-old son, seen here being rescued by officers, was not hurt.
Oh, that's gonna make me cry.
Now the question is, what happens to his son, who Huizar had with the 17-year-old victim?
Washington CPS will be involved in a placement decision. In terms of the specific timing on when Roman will return to the community, I'm not aware of that information, but I would anticipate that it would be in the near future.
One of the victims was his ex-wife, 31-year-old Amber Rodriguez, who was shot outside an elementary school where she worked. Earlier this year, Rodriguez filed a domestic violence protection order against Huizar for her and her 2 kids. The second victim, just 17 years old, was Angelica Santos, who's the mother of Huizar's 1-year-old son.
There was a protection order protecting Ms. Santos from Mr. Huizar.
He spent nearly a decade as an officer with the Yakima Police Department and worked as a school resource officer while on the force. Court documents show that toward the end of his time with the department, he got a teenager pregnant and ended up resigning in February of 2022. That same year, Huizar was hired by the Richland School District as a substitute teacher. During a press conference on Tuesday afternoon, the superintendent said he cleared pre-employment checks.
Both background checks came back clear, allowing him to proceed with the employment process at RSD.
Earlier this year, the district let him go after learning that there were rape allegations against him. According to court documents, Huizar raped a 16-year-old girl while she was sleeping. He was also facing charges for raping Santos, the teenager he got pregnant. He was charged with child rape in those cases and had a court date in that case on Monday. The Benton County prosecuting attorney out of Eastern Washington still doesn't know how he was able to get to the 17-year-old Santos, who had a no-contact order against him.
That matter is still under investigation, so this is an active law enforcement investigation. We are still pursuing all of the leads. There's still a lot of work to be done in this case, and so at this point we do not have more information about that item.
Now multiple agencies, including the FBI, are trying to determine what was behind the 2 murders.
David, police still don't have a motive behind the 2 murders from earlier this week. As for the 1-year-old, the Washington Child Protective Services are planning to pick him up in the Eugene area earlier today. Back to you.
Thank goodness that boy is okay. Thank you, Joe. Happening right now, Portland City Council is discussing and listening to feedback on proposed public camping restrictions. Mayor Ted Wheeler officially introduced his plan while Commissioners Rubio, Gonzalez, and Mapps relayed their own ideas. Now, Gonzalez wants to revive a ban on camping that was in effect for more than 40 years and, critically, give the mayor flexibility on enforcement as legal rulings evolve.
We cannot clean up our city completely without help. But substantively, it is allowing flexibility as constraints change.
Well, they just opened up that meeting to public comment, and more than 50 people have signed up to speak. Alma McCarty is there. She'll have much more coming up tonight on KGW News at 11. In your headlines, Portland public school leaders are about to present the proposal for budget cuts for the upcoming school year. It's part of a special school board meeting that just got underway. The interim superintendent has acknowledged the $30 million budget gap with a net loss of some 250 positions has the potential to divide.
My goal is that we can have a civil discourse about the uncomfortable without making it feel like we're against each other.
The district says the cuts will be split fairly evenly between central offices and schools. The teachers union plans to make their voices heard at the meeting tonight, opposing some of those cuts. City crews have started installing new lighting around downtown Portland's Central Library. The hope, they say, is to deter drug activity since that area has become a hotspot for dealers and users. Police say fentanyl in particular has become an issue. They add they've been arresting dealers periodically in the area for weeks. The former head of a local nonprofit now faces more than a dozen charges, including aggravated theft. Devin Horace is accused of stealing at least $100,000 from Alberta Main Street. He allegedly hid donations of $100,000 from Nike and $5,000 from the Trailblazers, which, according to court documents, he used to pay himself. The state says, given the scope of his alleged crimes, he could still be committing fraud elsewhere. And fast food chain In-N-Out has its eyes on another potential location in the Portland Metro. The city of Vancouver confirming the company has submitted what is called a commercial development pre-application. This would be off of Southeast 3rd Way and Mill Plain. In-N-Out has also proposed new spots in Ridgefield and Beaverton. Matt?
Okay, David, thanks so much. You're looking out at Lincoln High School there. It is cloudy and it's about to get rainy. And when I say about, I mean by tomorrow morning. But out of Astoria, it's already been raining. The clouds have lifted a bit and the rain has stopped for now. It's mainly just been drizzle and light rain at the coast. You can see that's all moving on. Not much made it south of the Columbia River. A little bit of Astoria down at Cannon Beach, but the amounts have been really inconsequential. Had a thunderstorm pop up down around Lakeview too, and that may happen tomorrow afternoon east of the Cascades. So let's check out the rainfall today. Nothing in the Portland area yet, but there will be tomorrow. Up at Astoria, as I said, very light rain, only 0.04 of an inch. Looking at our rainfall, though, in the month of April, our rainiest day was back on the 6th with just over 1/4 of an inch of rain. It's been a pretty dry month. Last time we had a day with over 1/2 inch of rain was in late March, 0.57 inches of rain. Thursday, tomorrow, we're going to probably outdo that, more than double what we had on the 6th of April, anywhere between 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch on the way for the day tomorrow. So it's going to be a pretty good soaker. Cloudy in the valley, 60 degrees still, but cooler weather. Well, it's already arrived. It's going to be even cooler still tomorrow as the rain sets in the early morning hours. Highs will only be in the 50s for the next couple of days, and there's snow coming to the Cascades, too. More on all this in a bit, David. Back to you.
At least we'll be prepared. Thank you, Matt. The man charged with sexually assaulting an unconscious woman at the Hillsborough Transit Center appeared in Washington County Court this morning. John Adams was there and joins us live from the county jail with the update. John.
Well, David, we now know that Eduardo Madrid-Roque will remain behind bars in advance of his trial. His lawyer didn't contest the motion by the state to keep him in the Washington County jail. Prosecutors say Madrid-Roque sexually assaulted a woman who had passed out at the Hillsborough Central Transit Station on June 14th of last year. They say the assault lasted for around 30 minutes and was captured on TriMet security cameras. Madrid-Roque faces 11 charges related to the assault. He has been convicted on multiple charges before, including felony assault in 2014 for punching his girlfriend in the head multiple times while she was holding their 1-year-old child. He was convicted for assaulting the same woman in 2016. Authorities say he also threatened her family if they told police about the incident. He spent over a year behind bars for that conviction. He was also convicted for public indecency in 2014 and resisting arrest in 2019. This is what a Washington County prosecutor had to say in court this morning.
So what I'm going to ask the court to do is, at least at this time, grant the preventive detention motion with the understanding that the defendant would still have the ability to go forward to file a motion to request a hearing on it.
Madrid-Roque has yet to enter a formal plea in this case, and David, he's due back in court on May the 6th. Back to you.
John Adams in Hillsborough this evening. Thank you, John. The KGW Solutions project aims to highlight the people and strategies working to solve some of the biggest challenges facing our communities. And this evening, we're talking environment, and taking a look at what forestry officials described as the most destructive forest pest in the country. That is the emerald ash borer, which is killing ash trees in Washington County. The beetle was first detected in Forest Grove in June 2022. Since then, they've killed at least 200 ash trees locally. Now, the Oregon Department of Forestry and Agriculture has created a plan to try to stop the beetles. They're cutting down infected trees and injecting untouched ones with pesticides for prevention.
The adult beetles feed on some of the foliage, and then they land on the bark of the tree, lay an egg, and then this is where the damaging life stage begins. The larva of the beetle feeds underneath the bark, and in doing so, it girdles the tree.
The good news, the beetles have only been found in Forest Grove and Cornelius so far, but officials are closely monitoring other areas. Hey, if you know of an organization or a group working to tackle the challenges facing our region, let us know. You can email us at solutions@kgw.com. Let us talk Decision 2024, because a week from tomorrow, KGW and the Oregonian will host a live debate between the two candidates for Multnomah County District Attorney. We are giving you a chance to ask questions directly to the candidates, Mike Schmidt and Nathan Vasquez. You can record a short video on your phone, then email it to debate@kgw.com. We also have detailed instructions for you at kgw.com.